Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Skyrim mod video on PS4, I wanted to make a help video I'm hoping could be useful to you if you are somebody that is still experiencing your load order getting rearranged for no reason. This was a bug that was brought about in the Creations update, and for some is still occurring on the current patch of 1.30. Now, I cannot say that this is a guaranteed fix. It has worked for me in my own experience, but I cannot guarantee that it will work for you. Also, it's not a permanent fix. You will have to do this every time the loader malfunctions and reorders your mods. However, in my opinion, it's a much quicker and a much more convenient way to get everything back to where it needs to be versus having to do this all manually. And a couple of things that could cause your load order to rearrange itself is if you don't allow the loader itself as well as the creations page to go ahead and load the images before messing with it, that can cause it to disable mods or rearrange them, usually both. Sometimes the game crashing while you're playing, I've found that it will disable mods, and usually if I see I have mods disabled, then they are rearranged at that time. Also keep in mind some mods, like this one for example, are pre-programmed to be placed in specific parts of your loader anyways, and so if you happen to move this elsewhere, when you reload the files, it's going to come right back to where it was at. There's nothing that you can do about that. But in any case, let's say that for whatever reason, actually here, take a look at these first few mods that I have, to where when we get in game I can show you that they have been placed back in the exact same way. I'm not going to scroll down too far, but now let's just say that the game has malfunctioned for whatever reason, and it has moved some of my mods around, and it's in an order that I do not want them to be. There is two options that you can try to restore this without having to do it manually. The first is if you have a load order saved to Bethesda.net, you can try to restore it from there. Now, if you are having issue with your load order being saved to Bethesda.net, I don't know if it will help, but I did create a video on the way that I do it, and I'll leave that linked in the description box down below. Now, I have noticed sometimes when restoring the load order from Bethesda.net, the first time that I do it, it does not put everything back where it's supposed to be, and I have to try it multiple times. Usually the third or fourth time it will go ahead and restore everything. However, there is a second and a much more convenient way, I think, to do it than using Bethesda.net if you are having issues with that. So let me go ahead. You can see that it's not in the correct order. Let me reload the files. And I am not going to cut any of the footage here for the purposes of this help. That way you can see everything that is being done in real time. But this is under the assumption that you are playing the game, you quit out, the next time you come in, you get the notification that your load order has changed, or you get the notification that a bunch of mods have been disabled, which when you get that and you try to re-enable them, it's going to most likely reorder your mods as well. In which case then you do not want to force a save. You want to go ahead and enable those mods, but you don't want to force a save. At any point, when you come in and you try to continue from where your game was last saved, you should get the notification that your load order has changed. Now, normally, if you made the change yourself by adding something, disabling or deleting something, you would always want to select current so that you use your current mod loader. However, we don't want to do that in this case because we want to use the loader the way that we had it ordered. So instead, we're going to select save. What this does is causes the game to fade to this black screen while it rearranges the load order back to the way that it was when the game was last saved, and when we then load up, the mod loader will now be back to the way that you previously had it placed. Now keep in mind some things that could cause this not to work is if you didn't notice your load order was rearranged and you went in and you did force a save and then you tried to load that save, then obviously it will go ahead and load the incorrect load order. In that case, you may need to try an earlier save that had it the way that you wanted it. Also, depending on what particular save it is you're using for what particular character or how long ago the save was, you could find that mods that you disabled or outright deleted will get downloaded again and re-enabled in the current loader when you try to go ahead and load that saved loader. Think of it like this. Anytime you make a save in the game takes a snapshot of how your loader currently is. And so that is what we are going to do, is load that snapshot of that loader in that save to get it back quickly and easily to where everything is placed back like it is supposed to be. And this often works better than restoring it from Bethesda.net. Now you can see my mods are once again back in the way that I originally had them before moving them around. Also, one quick warning about this menu. Now, in my experience, while the mods scrolling in the load order itself in the creations page no longer crashes it, scrolling it here sometimes will cause the game to freeze, so just be careful if you are scrolling through this. In any case, I hope one of these two options can help you out, and just remember that whatever save it is that you are using, the way the loader was at that particular time, that's the loader you're going to get if you use the second method. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Take care. One additional piece of advice I wanted to give that I did not think to include while recording the video is if you're going to try the second method of restoring your load order from a saved loader, it is best that you do not have any new mods installed at this time. That is because any new mods that you have placed will be put at the very bottom of the loader when the load order is restored, and they may conflict with the other mods in that saved loader, or they may have issue with where they are placed by the game instead of where you had them placed. It is best that if you're going to try the second method, it is because you have a loader that has everything that you're going to use, and you simply need to have it restored back to where it's supposed to be placed. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.